James Franklin to Virginia Tech. Let's talk about it. This is an elite hire for both parties. Matter of fact, I'm going to plant my flag here. I think that James Franklin is going to turn Virginia Tech into the competitive power that it once was 15 years ago. My reason why. When I think most underrated coaching jobs in college football, what's a place where you actually have everything it takes to win at a high level, but people aren't giving it credit for? Virginia Tech is at the top of that list. You've got a loyal fan base. You know, Virginia Tech these last 10 years hasn't really been great or even good, yet Lane Stadium is still just about near 100% capacity, packed every single week. One of the loudest stadiums in college football. You're at a very good recruiting location. Recruiting location is very underrated because Miami, for example, Miami could suck. They could go 5-7 or 6-6. But because they're in Miami, they're going to recruit super well. Virginia Tech's location is pretty good recruiting-wise. You have a decent amount of in-state talent in Virginia. Usually it's an SEC pipeline, but that's because Virginia Tech hasn't been competitive at all. You can get that in-state talent to stay in Virginia. You're a day drive from the Northeast, so you can get to Maryland. You can get to East Pennsylvania, D.C. You're a day drive from the Midwest. You can get to Ohio. You can get to West Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. And you're a day drive as well from the South. You can get to Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama. You can get to all those places. Not a lot of schools can say that they're that versatile of a recruiting location to be able to get to all those areas. Virginia Tech can. And the biggest one of all, you can win here. There was a time in Blacksburg, Virginia, where 10-win seasons and BCS Bowl appearances were the premium. Matter of fact, Frank Beamer, from 1995 to 2011, had 13 10-win seasons. 13 10-win seasons. You know how impressive that is? Some schools, like a Tennessee in the 2010s or an A&M in the 2010s, went 0-1 10-win seasons in total. 8 consecutive 10-win seasons. So bring in James Franklin. And I believe James Franklin perfectly fits that expectation that Frank Beamer set. 6 10-win seasons in the last 11 years with Penn State. He's one play away from a national championship. People forget that, how close Penn State was last year. He's got 5 New Year's Six Bowl victories. He's 104-46 as a coach. He's averaging just about 9 wins per season. And here's something that people forget. Penn State, I'm not going to get into the off-the-field issues because that's just not my lane. But Penn State was in deep, deep turmoil before James Franklin got there. A lot of people thought Penn State football would be a thing of the past and not relevant again and non-existing. You also factor in that before that at Vanderbilt, he's the only Vandy coach ever to have back-to-back 9-win seasons. You know how hard it is to win 9 games at Vanderbilt? I might be doing it this year, but in years past, that is tough. James Franklin did that 2 times in 3 years at Vanderbilt. Think about that. So James Franklin can rebuild a school very effectively. And let's be real, Virginia Tech needs a rebuild. They haven't been what they were in the 2000s. They haven't been that expectation that Frank Beamer set and left Blacksburg with. And in a wide open ACC, because Virginia Tech isn't going to go into the SEC and play that gauntlet of a schedule. In a wide open ACC that is begging for a school to overtake the top of that conference because no one has been able to. That's a big opportunity for Virginia Tech. That's a huge opportunity for them. You don't necessarily have to be Ohio State or Georgia to overtake the top of that conference. You just need to be consistently very good. And James Franklin has been that. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but then in the next era of conference realignment, the SEC could be looking for a school. If Virginia Tech is consistently good, I could see the SEC swinging, giving Blacksburg a call, and saying, hey, you guys fit the culture, you fit the vibe, you're a part of the South. I consider Southern Virginia the South, not Northern. Southern Virginia. I feel strongly about that. And the SEC is going to say, hey, we're looking to expand. We want you guys. We want the state of Virginia. Because they fit the vibe. Just saying. I think, long story short, this is a hire that Virginia Tech is going to be praised for a long time. And I think James Franklin's going to be in Blacksburg for a long time.